Hi everyone. You can fall asleep if you want, I don't mind. Okay. Right, my name's Joan Hamilton and I work at the spa. So I know everyone's thinking beautician, nails, hair, but no. It stands for single point of access. So we deal with 10 services across Westminster, Hammersmith and Fulham and Kensington and Chelsea. So we deal with anything from diabetes, physio, podiatry, tissue viability. It's a massive service that we deal with. And we deal with incoming phone calls, referrals, clinicians, patients, emails. It's a lot. It is a lot. It's a busy service. Today I'm going to talk about podiatry. On a whole, our podiatry clinic has a high volume of cancellations. And that's on the day cancellations. We can have up to 5 cancellations in one day, or in a couple of days notification for cancellations, or a couple of weeks. But it's a high volume of cancellations with nowhere to fit the patients in that we've cancelled. So that has a big effect on our service because we get lots of angry, frustrated patients who lose confidence in our service because we're always cancelling. We get a lack of trust from the GPs because, of course, the patients are going back to them to complain. Negative impact on the service, waiting times and outcomes, unhappy commissioners, and then we get stressed out, frustrated staff, which could result in sickness. So what I have done is I've approached one of the service managers for podiatry, and she's currently aware of the challenges podiatry faces with the cancellations. And I've sort of given her some ideas, points of view that might help with the podiatry service. And one of them I was thinking of, instead of having locums coming in to cover, who only have to give a week's notice if they want to leave, which results in more cancellations, have a rolling contract. So have them on a 12-month contract. So they have to give a month's notice. So that gives us a chance to get the clinics in order, prepare for the cancellations that are going to happen. And keep the patients happy. And I also said to her that I think any clinician that cancels for any other reason than sickness, they should be the ones to cancel appointments, speak to each patient for their clinics. For example, podiatry have a, I've lost myself now, They have a regular meeting that they have every year, and it's planned, they've given the dates way in advance, so they know that they've got to freeze the clinics in advance because they're going to have that big podiatry meeting. Had one podiatrist email and said, oh, can we cancel the clinic on that day? And no reason. But what we found out was that he forgot to freeze his slots. 14 patients, nowhere to put them. The service manager said, nope, you've got to deal with all those patients, see them or ring them and speak to them. And I think it's better because then the patient's actually hearing from a clinician, so they can give them advice if they've got a foot problem, where to go, how to deal with it. And also I think it's better that they hear from a clinician than the admin staff saying, sorry, we've got to cancel, can't help it. Another thing the service manager suggested is that if the podiatrists have regular supervision, someone that they trust to speak to about their situation, what's going on with them, then they wouldn't have so much clinic cancellations, and they can, offload if they're feeling stressed or tired for whatever reason they want to cancel. So the other recommendations I gave her was that if the service, with the cancellations of the clinics and with the podiatrist speaking to the patients, we wouldn't have frustrated patients who has had to wait 4 to 6 weeks for their next appointment. And that will, in the end, benefit us by having happier patients, confident with our service, happier admin and clerical staff, so they're not stressed out and frustrated when the patients are taking out their anger on them, which will give us better outcomes, less complaints, happier commissioners. Benefits for CLCH, more smooth line service, staff can be happy at work, less staff absences. Going forward with this, I will be keeping in touch with that service manager to see how she's implemented, or if it's worked, if she's implemented. I hope she will. You never know. monitoring cancellations so that I can show her feedback, right, how many cancellations we've had for the month, and see if there's any improvement month on month. Utilising appointments and availability. So that means keeping an eye out so that if we have had a cancellation, any slots available, offer the patient. Might not be at their preferred clinic, but it will be an appointment earlier than what they had. And ensuring that all clinicians are in contact with their management and that the managers know that they are actually cancelling the clinic and they're not sneaking it in by just emailing us or not their service manager. So, I think that's the end of my presentation. Yes? Any questions? Oh, God.
Joan, I'm at the end of the chain, and I hope you may help me. I would like to advise what you just said. What we were doing in the past is the nursing home. We were booking pediatrics regarding pediatric service. So at the beginning, we were sending the patients for one appointment somewhere. They are very vulnerable. We stopped doing this, and they were coming to see the patient in the premises.
Right.
Still, we have 23 of them. So what I arranged with one of your managers, I don't remember the name, but I called pediatrics manager because I was just truly desperate. And I said, I need to do it regularly, every 2 weeks, at least 5 sick patients, 6 together, because it makes sense for you and for us. And we managed to do it 3 times because the manager interfered. He was very open-minded. So I prepared the list, I faxed it over, 6 patients 1 week, 6 patients other. It worked perfectly. So we have now routine. I would like to do it every 2 weeks, revision. And just one person coming for a half of day or 1 day. How can I manage that I can actually do this? He did it for me. This is what he said, pediatrics manager, but I would like to do it as a routine because it's very efficient.
Mm-hmm.
If you compare it from previous, sending one person out, then how can I achieve this?
We used to do that. They used to do that. Westminster used to do that, where they'd go into the homes. Each home, they had one specific podiatrist that would go into the home, see so many patients,
Cost effective?
and it saves them coming out and losing them in the system. But what happened is cutbacks. We've had cutbacks. We've lost podiatrists across all 3 of the boroughs. They get locums, and then they're told, yeah, they get locums, and then they're told you're spending too much money. You've got to get rid of them. There's no money.
So what can I realistically do if I want?
You could. I would contact all the service managers because you come under what borough do you come under?
I am from Princess Louis.
So-
Kensington
Kensington and
and Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Kensington and Chelsea.
So you'd have to contact
Tom, maybe.
Tim Moore.
Tim Moore.
He's lovely. He's really, really lovely. Yeah, but he'll probably. But so I'd approach him again and tell him, you know, this is what you were doing in.
You would suggest to do it individually with this team because I didn't.
Yeah, because he's the service manager for Kensington and Chelsea podiatry. So I would contact him and see if it's possible, what's possible. But I know they've overspent, so
Okay.
with hardly any
So
spaces.
still bringing it
I would still, because it works.
It worked.
Yeah.
Yes, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it works.
I
But
was asking
again,
for just one note.
he'll probably tell you, due to lack of funds, no podiatrists, we can't take locums. Because we even have DOMS patients at home that have home visits, and there's a long wait. So it's all about money and cutbacks.
Has any work been done with HR in regards to why the podiatrists like leave? Like why they don't stay on?
Because we had restructure. There was a lot of restructure. Some podiatrists got downgraded. Some decided the stress is too much and they're off. And that's about it. Money again. Yeah.
Has anyone thought about having a reminder service for the clinicians? Because you're saying there's such a high rate of cancellations from the clinicians. Do they get like a reminder that they do have the appointment so that they can't at the last minute, you know?
The clinicians themselves, the podiatrists, yeah. They know, they have access to real.
Regardless of that, do they get like a reminder? Because there's such a high rate
Oh, you mean when they cancel when it's not sickness?
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is they ring up on the day saying they're sick. A lot of it is that. A lot of it is that. Some of it is where they've decided that they're going to do a training course. And they don't freeze out the clinics with that pending. and then the training course comes through and it's all dated and everything, and then they send it to us to cancel. Some of them, like I said, the one that we had, sneakily, he just emailed us, not his service manager, when he fully well knew that he should have frozen his clinics off. So they do, some of them take the mick.
I do think it's good where you said that hopefully you get them, if you can get them to actually bring.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Them accountable
Yeah,
as well,
exactly,
rather than-
exactly. Because we can't tell who's a vulnerable patient from who's not. And some of them, we own, when we've told to cancel a clinic, when you look on it and look at the patient's past history, you'll notice, wait, this patient came last week and the week before and the week before, so that there's something wrong there. So I think it's down to the service manager then, if not the clinician, to go through the list and see, right, who's vulnerable and who's not and who's at risk. Because we can't tell. It's only because I've been doing podiatry for a while where I'd clock, oh wait, this patient's been coming week on, so it must be something more severe than just cutting the toenails. Mm. Thank you. Oh, Lolo, you want a question? You sure?
Just the last one. How do you feel when they ask you to cancel the clinic?
Oh my gosh, it's the vibe in the office is terrible, because you'll get someone say, because there's 7 of us, 2 of us deal with the email system where we get the message to say you've got to cancel a clinic. So you get someone say, oh, I've got a cancellation. Then you've got someone back at that, oh, I've got a cancellation. You would have 3 in one morning. And everybody is just stressed, frustrated. It's really stressful, because especially when you're ringing that poor patient, you cancelled me last week and you cancelled me the week before.
I'm just going to talk from my own perspective in my training, because sometimes I do have such problems whereby the doctor or the consultant may be on a study leave and the service manager did not inform us. And there will be patient already even clocking in, sitting down.
Yeah,
waiting
we've had that.
to
we've
see
had
the
that.
doctor.
Yeah, we've had.
In that aspect, what we do in some cases is we have to put the service manager on the phone to speak to the patient and do the cancellation themselves. Because sometimes you see this patient take the aggression and the frustration on the nurses and the staff, not knowing it's not our fault. So I'll just say, as an advice, next time if it happens, try to get some, like the podiatrist people that they own the clinic, let them do the cancellation
I
themselves.
think so, yeah.
Let them do the speaking, because I had a clinic about 2 weeks ago like that, whereby it's oncology. You know what oncology means? It's so terrible, you can't tell the patient are already sitting, waiting to see a doctor. And the doctor is saying, sorry, I can't come because I'm in the queue on the road, M25, I'm stuck, so I'm coming back, I'm going home. So what will you do in that case? The best thing is for the doctor herself to speak to this patient. I would tell, because I'm not ready to face them.
That's true. And I find,
Because going out to even look at them,
Yeah.
to eat you.
yeah, and I find patients don't shout at the doctors, consultants, clinicians. They'll shout at you, but they will never shout at the consultant and the doctor.
What I tend to do is say, I'm so sorry, Dr. So is not coming, but he's going to speak to every one of you on the phone individually. So I can, oh, Mrs. Story, can you come in, please? I don't want to speak to you. So I'll be smiling because I won't be the one taking
That's
the-
that, yeah, and they won't,
action.
That's a
So
good
if you
idea,
can do
Folo,
that,
yeah,
that would be really good,
Yeah.
because the workload is falling on you.
yeah,
And the pressure is on you.
yeah, and it's very stressful. I'll put that forward. Thank you. Thanks, guys.